Are my fibroids gone? The fibroid results are in, and I am going to share my journey with you. Hi, welcome back to my channel. It is your girl, Mrs.Cowart journey, and if you are not subscribed already, make sure you subscribe, like this video, and comment down below. I am going to try to answer all of your questions. I am going to share my journey from start to the end with you all without missing parts. I want to be as transparent as possible and just honest as possible about every part of this fibroid journey. So first things first, fibroids. What are they? They're non-cancerous tumors. We are unsure based on the research that has been given to us as to how fibroids start, why they are so prevalent amongst African American women. We are unsure. They may be linked to many different things, caused by many different things. However, we have yet to find out exactly what those things are. Now, I will share with you things as far as my diet, things I've stopped eating, things that I'm now eating, things that I do that I didn't used to do. So yeah, make sure you all get you some tea, some soda, no, don't get you no soda, get you some water. And let's get into this video. So I want to say around maybe 2007 is when I started experiencing excruciating pain. Excruciating, it was beyond contractions. I would rather have my child over and over again, that type of pain, to the point that I would be in fetal position and on my floor for 2 to 3 days in the same position because I was just in so much pain. I didn't know obviously what was going on at that time. I was so young. I didn't know. All I knew is that after doing what you do in the bed type of thing, that I was just in so much pain. So I did eventually, I want to say, if it wasn't that year, I want to say maybe the following year, I went to my doctor, and that's when they told me that I had fibroids. And again, being young and naive, I asked what it was. They told me it was non-cancerous tumors. It kind of made me feel like it was nothing. And maybe because it was at that point of time, because it was so small, they thought that it was going to go away, but it didn't. It didn't. And I wish I would have educated myself more on it, because throughout the years, it caused me even more serious pain and more problems, such as being anemic, fainting, being fatigued, bloating, losing my hair. Plethora of things were occurring, all because of fibroids. A couple years ago now, just jumping right to that, that's when I found out that I had, I think it was, at that time I only knew of 2 fibroids, and I guess that's because, again, the doctor was letting me know because they were alarmed about it because of the situations that were causing on my uterus. So one fibroid was just pretty large to the point that it was disfiguring my uterus. Let's just think of it as a circle. Mine was like a bean shape because the fibroid was sitting so far on it, which was causing me to constantly have to go to the bathroom, even when I didn't really even have to urinate that much. Because of the pressure constantly being on my bladder, I would have to go. So it wasn't getting any smaller, it was getting bigger. It was causing me, like I said, to be bloated. My stomach, I'm small in figure. I've always weighed like between like 135 and I'm like 5'4", I'm sorry. So my stomach was starting to protrude a little bit out. It wasn't just a bloating that, bloating comes and goes. So I'm like, this is just weird. So I went back to my doctor, and that's, like I said, when they were letting me know that, yes, that it is large. It is concerning because it's protruding. It could protrude into the uterus, but at this point in time, it was basically putting pressure on my uterus and also on my organs, which can cause one's organs to merge in a sense. Like it's just weird how the body can just do what it does when it runs out of space. Not too long after that, in between, I would say around that time, I was pregnant. I had a miscarriage. No one knew as to why. I have a kid now, so I didn't understand how I had a miscarriage. Okay, fine, it happened. That was 2015. 2017, I had an ectopic pregnancy, and at this time I was just like I was very confused. Like, what the heck is going on with my body? I don't recognize my body anymore. Why is my body rejecting babies? Like what's going on? The time of the ectopic pregnancy, the time of the miscarriage, they were letting me know things it could be. I don't need to know what it could be. Tell me what it is. So I decided to pray. That's the first thing that I decided to do, is pray, and believe and really trust in God. I had my moments where, look, don't talk to me, don't look at me, don't give me advice type of thing. When you're going through those things, you don't want to hear it. I didn't want to talk to God. There were moments, and then I got back onto what is real. God is real. God is, if I believe him to be who he said that he is for me, then I must believe it through the whole journey. And that's why I'm here today, is I'm sharing my whole journey with you. But the number one start is, if you're really serious about anything in life, and that's just my motto for life in general, is how bad do you want it? I want it bad enough that I'm going to trust God when it's hard to trust him. I may fall off, and the journey may not be perfect, but I know he exists, and I know what he's already done and going to do for me. And I believe that. I stood on that no matter what. I just believed it. Like, every part of me just believed that he was going to be with me through this journey. I cried a lot of tears, especially obviously losing my baby. But jumping back into that, pray, and believe. Don't just pray and, be in doubt and don't have faith, but you have to truly believe. That was the number one thing. That helps with confidence. That helps with stress. Like, believing in God is more than just an imagination type of thing. Like, it really is a walk. I just was trusting God. No matter what the doctors were saying, I was just trusting God and walking out my journey. I didn't understand everything, and I just told God, like, Lord, I don't understand these things, but I'm one to believe that you reap what you sow. And I'm not saying that I sowed any of this, but at the same time, I know that the Bible clearly says that you reap what you sow. Whatever I may have sowed of being in sin of my life, and or whether God just wants to just have me walk this journey out for myself as well as to other women, whatever it may be, Lord, I trust you. That was my mindset. I trust you, God. You really care for me, and I trust you. I was going through the whole thing, like, I want to be pregnant. All these women are being pregnant, but I just kept going back to, Lord, I trust you. What's for you is for you. So I decided that I was going to take things into me and God's hands. And I say me and God's hands because it wasn't in my hands only. I decided to do research. What are fibroids? How do they exist? Why do they exist? Who do they exist? Like the what, when, where, like that is so important. The W's. What, when, where, who, why. And I found out during my research that fibroids, yes, they may be a non-cancerous tumor, but they feed off of certain things. And certain things that are more prevalent amongst our African American women, whether you have a relaxer or not, whether you eat junk food or not, like it can be already things in one's cells that if a person keeps doing the things that they shouldn't be doing, it would feed that thing. So just think of it like that. So being an African American woman, black, I don't want to say it's a strike against me, but I'm just saying that I knew that I had to change my lifestyle. What I eat, what I drink, how I sleep, every single thing I had to change. Because if I did that in my head, if I did those things, and I was giving myself like a year, then I should be fine. Amongst doing this, sometime I ran into like researching, and I came across the urine fibroid embolization, which that was a procedure that I shared, and which I will also share here on top, also in my description. It was a procedure that was, you just go in and you leave the same day. It goes, they'll stick like a little thing inside of your wrist and basically cut off the circulation from the fibroid feeding off of the blood, basically the uterus. That's how, it's like a leech, think of it like that. However, remember that no matter what procedure, myomectomy, the uterine fibroid embolization, unless you change the foundation of why it's happening, it can come back. And one of the doctors, when I went to do the IVF, wanted to do a myomectomy on me. You all, don't do it. Don't do it. I just had an ectopic pregnancy. He wanted to go back in and have surgery. Nah. That was my icing on the cake motivation. No.
Hey dolls, enjoying the video so far? Stay tuned by subscribing to my channel as well as clicking the notification bell to be notified of all my many videos that I love to post. Make sure you also comment down below on any questions that you may have on any video. Now let's get back to the video. Hey dolls, due to the video being so long, I had to break it up into 2 parts, so make sure that you stay tuned for part 2. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment down below. Any questions at all, again, make sure that you stay tuned for part 2. You don't want to miss it.